Hi, Writing Workshop teachers. I'm Amanda from amandawritenow.com, and my passion is supporting teachers like you in implementing the workshop model in their classrooms. Because students build identities as readers and writers when you use the workshop model. Today, I'd like to talk to you about publishing your students' writing. It is incredibly motivating when students know their writing is going to be read by a real audience. But where do you find that real audience? There's many different options for teachers. So one option is to have a publishing party. This is a party that you invite other classes to join. You'll need a large area such as a multi-purpose room or a gym because you want to spread your students out so they can really hear each other. So I'll have pairs of students at different tables, and then I'll give whoever the guest is, I'll give them little post-it notes with numbers written on them, so the tables are numbered. And so I'll give maybe 4 or 5 kids the number 1, and that means all those 5 kids will go see table number 1 with a pair of my students sitting at that table. And we'll have balloons, we might have sparkling cider, and my students they won't read their entire stories, actually. My students will read their little bio, so they create an author bio, and then they read a summary of their story. And you can even have your students autograph something of your guests. So your guests could have post-it notes, and they could have just a blank piece of paper, and they could go around and get the autographs of your students if they really like the story idea or the information article. You could also create an ebook where students all take turns copying and pasting their story into a Google Doc that you created, a shared Google Doc that you created. This is, you have to teach your students how to be respectful and how to take turns going into a shared Google Doc, so they're not all like 30 kids in a Google Doc trying to paste their stories at the same time. But that's another option. And then have an artistic student or two design the cover of this ebook. You could also hook up with a bookstore in your local community and have your students' books out for buyers or shoppers that come to that bookstore. I've had colleagues of mine do that before. I've never done that myself, but maybe this year will be the first year. There's also websites that you can go to publish student writing and get like a hardback book made. If you just Google publishing student writing, there's many publishing companies. They'll actually create a binded book for you, and then you just make sure to send all of the advertising of the company if parents want to buy the book. That's how the company benefits. They can, possibly make money from parents, but in the end, you get a class book that's actually hardcover. You can also go the old school route and start, get one of the binding machines and bind the actual paper copies of your students' writing. And then students publish their writing online. So you could have a publishing party, and then you could, if the guests that come to the publishing party really, really want to read your student's story, you can direct them to go visit the website you created where you published your student's writing online. So you could do that. Next, I'll go ahead and show you how to create a website to publish your students' writing. This is how I publish my students' writing online. This is a Weebly site, and I have all of my students' top writing. So I pick 5 of the best narratives, 5 of the best information articles, 5 of the best opinion articles. And I call them articles. I don't call them essays because that's what they're called online. They're called articles. So I pick the top ones and I put them on a page all by themselves. So let's just click top narratives. Congratulations to the writers of the top narratives this year. Over 100 stories written and only a select few are chosen. And so then I have all of my students' narratives here, and I just inserted a Google Doc and there it is. So this is one of the top narratives right on this page, and it's just linked to my Weebly site. So this is really, really powerful. And then if I click narrative up here, I separated out by topic. So all students writing is represented on this website. And then we also created a giant book with every story. That was a big pain. I had all my kids insert their stories one at a time into one shared doc that we were all editing at the same time. It was kind of crazy, but it really motivates kids to know that their writing will be read by an audience. So in this video, I'd like to show you how to use Google Sites to create a website that you can publish your students' writing. So to use Google Sites, you click the little array in Gmail and you scroll down, and you won't see sites here unless you go and get it. So if I click even more from Google, and I scroll down, there it is, sites, create a website. So the really great thing about Google Sites is that it can be private only for your people in your school district, whereas Weebly is public. So I'm going to click Sites, and you just click Create. And Google Sites, you can either choose a classic site or new sites. So I really like Google Site new sites. It's just come out recently, so I'm going to click in new sites. And here we go. We have a website, and I will call it Writing in, let's call it 7th. Who knows? Maybe you're a 7th grade teacher reading this right now. So I'm going to skip this tour. Writing in 7th. Okay, so let's just go basic here. And I probably need to give it a title up here. Writing in 7th. And I'm going to insert a page. So I'm going to click Pages, and I'm going to add a page by clicking here. And I'm going to type narratives. Done. Okay, so now you notice that the pages are popping up here. I'm going to add another page called Information Articles. Done. And then it should pop up here. And then another one, let's call them Editorials. Done. Okay, so let's go into narratives. And here's the narrative page. So this is where you can go ahead and insert your categories. So let's insert a text box. So I'm going to insert sports, and you can make the text bigger. I can make it a title, drag that. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to link it to a doc. So when you have a doc in your Drive, you can get the link to the doc and then just paste it right here. To get that link, you just click in your document, Share, and anyone with the link can view. You copy the link. See, it's copied to the clipboard, and that's the link you'll paste into whatever section of your site you want. Link it and paste it. And then that doc, make sure you change the share settings to be, anyone with a link can view, because if it's private, then people won't be able to view this sports page. And then you can paste all your students' narratives onto that sports doc and then provide the link right there. That's what I've done here. That's what these are. These are just the docs that I've created and just linked them to this title. It's that easy to publish your students' writing online. So, and I can also make the home page. So all the class narratives will be here, but then where will your top narratives go? So I can actually go ahead and add a text box here, and I'll make it really big, and I'll put top narratives like that. And then I'll make it small, and I don't want it to look like that. And you can actually center it so it looks nicer. You can change the color. It's really, really self-explanatory. And then of course, link it to that doc that you created. Copy and paste the doc into here, and all your students' best narratives can be on one doc you created in your Google Drive. That's how easy it is to publish your students' writing online so that they can read each other's writing and just be so proud of what they accomplished.